evening all, here we are on a Wednesday night once again. It's Wednesday the 30th of March 2022 and welcome along to tonight's little chat show, boys and girls. And we start this evening already with a tip. Wow! Thank you very much to John Parrish. Already sent a £2 tip in. That's very generous of you, John. Thank you very much. You've doubled your usual tips. How have you managed to do this? Have you won the lottery? Something like that? Eh? Anyway, thank you, John. It's made me feel slightly better. Not feeling well. No, it's much worse than that. Even worse. No, not feeling well today. I started feeling a little bit dodgy while I was out early this morning. I say early this morning, about 11 o'clock. And I had to pop down to the church to talk about the music around Easter, like Maundy Thursday, Good Friday. It's Good Friday, not Easter Friday. There is no Easter Friday. Don't get confused with that one, okay? As a couple of people have said to me now, I've said that there is no Easter Friday. Well, what's the Friday then before the Easter Sunday? It's Good Friday, dear. There is no Easter Friday. Good Friday. I was talking about the music for Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, and of course Easter Sunday. While I was sitting there with Father Danny earlier on, and we just discussing that because I was very, very nervous, and he has actually put my mind completely at rest. It was Good Friday that was bothering me the most, but actually it is the mass or service it's more than a mass. It's like an event, really. It's the least musical event of all. Actually, there's hardly anything other than a few hymns, really, for offertory and veneration of the cross. So that's good. Maundy Thursday, a little bit more complicated. Apparently, the most complicated one is the Saturday night one, which I can't do anyway. So that was all sorted. And then I was going to go swimming after that, but I felt a bit iffy. A bit lethargic, you know, a little bit fatigued. Fatigued is the word I'm looking for. So I had cycled down to the church on my bike rather than take the car. And I've got a little bit of a problem with my bike at the moment in that, you know, the gear cable. There's two gear cables, one side and one the other. One of those has snapped. And rather than getting into a complete mess and please don't, ow, that's easy. All you have to do is, it's not easy, dear. It's not easy if you're a puff and you don't know what you're doing, love. We don't do those things. We don't. All we do is sit in places and look good, you know, which unfortunately a lot of the older straight blokes have a great difficulty in doing that, but we can do that. We can just sit down and look good, you see. You know, the proper men of this world go out and fix cars and bikes and motorcycles and, I don't know, build houses and do decorating. That's what they're good at. And fix cables on bikes. So this cable has snapped where where it goes into the little lever. You know the cable I mean. You know, you're cycling along. You've got the two brakes. There's a cable each for those. And then these two gear things, one each side. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. And the 1, 2, 3 is snapped. So it's still usable. Except and it's stuck in the easier one, so it just means I can't pick up speeds when I'm going at warp speed. I go so fast you wouldn't believe on that bike, my love. You know, like when you watch Star Trek, yeah, and it's always nighttime, of course, because it's in space, isn't it? And you see the stars, and they're just like lines because of how fast the Enterprise or Voyager or any of the other starships are moving. It's a bit like that when I'm on the bike, you know. When I go past the speed camera on my bike, I go so fast that the camera doesn't even flash until I've gone past it. That's how fast I go on my bike. You won't catch me, darling. And you have to move fast to try and catch criminals dropping items of litter everywhere. So, hey, is that yours, mate? Bit like that. So I thought what I'll do is, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll cycle the bike down to Halfords, which isn't very far away. And I'd get that done. So I came out of the church, and you can't cycle through the town centre, so I pushed my bike through the town centre. There's no problem at all doing that, with my in-books in the back and my swimming stuff in the other bag. I thought, well, I'll just take that out and I'll drop the bike off at Halfords and walk home. They won't be able to do it there and then. I get that, So I'm walking, and then I walked past it, didn't I? Jason Hughes, what did I walk past? Go on, have a guess. Have a guess. Go on, have a rough guess, right? It's lunchtime, and I've pushed the bike past Greg's. That is correct. Now, I have much more willpower than Jason Hughes. I can walk past the Greg's. I can do that. You can't do that, can you? You can't walk past the Greg's. I can actually walk past the Greg's, and a little light went on in my head, and I thought, there's your lunch. Because by now it's about 12:30, right? By the time me and Father Danny had finished chatting away, it was about 12:30. I do get on very well with him. So that registered in my brain. I carried on pushing the bike. I then passed this ghastly place. Oh, there was a massive long queue in Greg's. Well, it's 12 o'clock, see, lunchtime. Much longer queue in there than there was in that ghastly McDonald's. There they are, all sitting in there, eating their burgers and chips, and they're getting fatter and fatter, which of course doesn't happen to people at Greg's. We don't put weight on. It's like a slimmer's paradise going into Greg's. Pasties, sausage rolls, bean and cheese melts, cakes, little chocolate millionaire shortbreads, biscuits, sandwiches, rolls, chips. You'd have all that, all those, and no, you don't get any weight on. You walk past McDonald's, and if you look into the window, bang, 1 stone immediately put on your weight. Very dangerous. So I walked past there, and I walked past the 3 shop, three. Walked past the 3 shop, looked in there, and there's the manager in there. Oh, I kind of know him now. I always go in there and buy bits and pieces, so I waved to him. I walked past the road, and I got to Halfords. Now, the weird thing about Halfords, okay, their cycle repair bit is upstairs, and there's no lift. Seriously, I don't know how they designed that. You walk in there, and on the right-hand side, first thing you see are batteries, all by the till, so that people like you can't nick them. Just a minute, I've lost the slipper. Right? So that's on the right-hand side of the batteries, situated by the till. And Halfords, for the 25 or 30 years I've been going into, all branches of Halfords have the worst till system in the world. It is so slow. I don't know why, and it's always been like that. There's no popping in and out of Halfords quickly for an item. It always takes forever at the till. That's whether there's a queue there or not. I don't know why it takes so long. I think they had these tills put in the 1980s and never upgraded them. Or maybe they're still using modems, 15k modems. Do you remember the 14k 14.4, wasn't it, modems? Yes. It is so slow on the till. And I looked in Halfords, and there's this queue of about 7 people in the queue at the till. Well, I wasn't going to the till. And I thought, well, you'll be there for half an hour. And I chuckled to myself. And I pushed the bike in. And then there's like 2 flights of stairs. It's just crazy. It's always been like that there. I mean, I know this. Like, you go up 1 flight of stairs, and there's a bit of a platform like that, and it's straight. It looks like right in front, in the middle of the shop. It is 2 flights of stairs. So you go in, you go past batteries on the right, light bulbs on. I know what's in there. Camping stuff on the left, and light bulbs on the left. A little bit further, and there's window wiper things on the right, and on the left, more car cleaning products, and there's the stairs in the middle. If it was like one of those, those like grand houses, like Dynasty or something, with the big staircase coming round, it's a bit like that. Seriously. And there's 2 flights of these fairly steep stairs, and you literally have to carry your bloody bike up them. There's no lift. There's no escalator. And you struggle, because my bike is not like a professional bike. It's not light in any way, shape or form. It's not like a carbon fibre thing. It's metal, heavy metal. I'm not a professional cyclist. I just do it for a little bit of fun. Anyway, I struggled all the way up these blasted stairs with this bike. Now and again, trying to lift the front wheel so that it didn't bang the steps. A couple of times it does that, and you jar yourself, don't you? Nearly went flying backwards again. I mean, people must fall down those stairs. They must do. People must fall. I mean, I'm getting on a bit now, and I struggle to carry that bike up the stairs. But even youngsters, a girl, I mean, no disrespect to you ladies, but you really would struggle taking your bike up these damn stairs. Even a lad, a lad would have trouble getting his bike up these stairs. Anyway, so I got up to the top eventually. And then you push it along to the till. Hello, mate. Just got a gear cable there snapped. Could you do that for me, please? And I'll pick that up in a few days or whatever you tell me what to do. Oh, well, we haven't got any space at the moment. We can't possibly take it in. Oh, right. Okay. So what's the procedure here? They said, well, you leave it here. We'll have a look at it in about 3 hours' time, right? And then when you come back. Right, listen. And then when you come back to collect it, we're letting you know when you can bring it in. Oh, why, well, it's just a gear cable. You just need to... Yeah, but it has to be looked at first. So I think he said an MOT or an MOD or something like that. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to book my car in for an MOT. I keep forgetting that. I haven't done one of those for years because my car's coming to 3 years old now. Won't get the new one until September. I keep forgetting to do that. Can I just write that down on my calendar? Very, very busy calendar. Look at this busy calendar. Look, busy calendar. Just a minute. Car, was it tomorrow the 31st? Car, book, MOT. I must do that tomorrow. And when does that run out? Oh, hang on a minute. It's not the end of the bloody month, is it? Hang on a minute. Oh, that's not the end of the month that runs out. No, I think it's the end of next... I'm sure it's the end of next month, is it? Christ, I've got so many bits of paper in there. Oh, I hope it's not tomorrow. Well, we don't go... No, it must be the end of the month. I would have done it by now. Anyway, so there we are. So that's what you said. Leave it here. We'll have a look at it in about 3 hours. And then when you come and pick it up, we'll let you know when we can... what day you can bring it in to have it done. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I'll have to come back then because I don't know what I'm doing and I need to get home because I couldn't come back. I didn't want to come back in the afternoon. I was just so tired. Okay, so I ended up taking the bike all the way back down the stairs again, which admittedly is easier because you kind of it can rest on the stairs as it goes down and you have your sort of brake half on, don't you, so that you don't go crashing down the stairs. People must have fallen down those stairs with bikes. They must have done. It's just crazy situation that is. I came out of there thinking, what a weird way of doing things. Now remember, this is a cycle shop, among other things. The people I spoke to, young lads, and they've both been there for years. I say young, 28, 30 sort of age, something like that, 25, 30 sort of age. They do bikes all the time. Are you telling me that they need to look at this bike carefully to decide how to put on a gear cable? We're not talking about me, who knows nothing about anything to do mechanical. No, these are people that work on bikes all the time. I bet they can do that job in 10 minutes. I bet they can. It's probably one of the most easy things they would have to do, replace a blooming cable. Which by now, okay, now after I come down the stairs, I noted the cable has now completely come out of its plastic sheath thing, okay, and is now trailing on the floor. So I thought I better wrap that around something before I get back on it because it get caught up in my wheel. I should go flying over the bleeding handlebars, which incidentally would make a good YouTube video. Perhaps I should do that and pretend that I've had a terrible accident, So I had got this cable and I kind of wrapped it around the middle, the frame bit there and tied it up at the end, so that's all safe. And I cycled back home thinking to myself, well, I think I'll just ring up a place in Crowthorne that I bought the bike from, Crowthorne Cycles, where there just happens to be the Lidl that I go to as well. I'll give them a ring tomorrow and ask them, look, I've got this that needs to be done. Can I bring it in and wait? What day shall I come in? I very much doubt we'll have to have a look at it first and see what needs to be done. It's a bloody cable, dear. But how complicated can that be? Although you have to watch some of these cycle shops, even the one at Berkshire Cycles. I mean, they do a good job. But whenever I take a bike in there, they say, oh, all those cogs look like they're a little bit worn out at the back. We'd recommend you change those. Well, they recommended that 8 years ago, the last time I took it in, and it's still going. Nothing's jumping. I've had bicycles before where the cog and the chain wears out and it starts jumping a bit. So you're cycling along, it doesn't fall off. You're cycling it, click, and you kind of your foot shoots forward a little bit as it jumps off the thing and then comes back on again. That's not happening at all. It's just the cable. I mean, it's just crazy how some of these places work, isn't it? Anyway, so I cycled back here. No, I didn't. I then pushed the bike back to outside the church and walked back to Greg's the Baker's. And I popped in there. I had to queue up, but admittedly, the long queue, which was right back to the door, 10 people in this queue. I thought, oh God, how long is this going to take? But it moved quite quickly. Only 2 people served in there, and I had a vegan sausage roll, a vegan sausage and bean melt, which admittedly was a bit cold. You know, it had gone cold, but it was okay. I had a tomato soup and a vegetable pasty. Very nice indeed. Thank you very much. Yeah, very nice indeed. Then I cycled back here and I noted there was a few bits of litter that I wanted to pick up. So I then came straight back out again. I thought I'll come and do the litter before I come home and watch Holby City, because I hadn't watched it until then. And unfortunately, I'd already read the front of the Daily Mail, which told me what was going to go on Holby City, but I didn't know how it was going to happen, so it wasn't too bad. So I came back out the house, walked around my house to a place where I noted yesterday there were a couple of beer bottles on the grass, but I got down there and someone's already picked those up, so I was quite pleased about that. And then got rid of the rubbish, not too much rubbish at all really. And then I went into the co-op. I fancied an apple pie today. I really fancied it. I haven't had an apple pie for ages. And can you believe it? So I'd gone all that way and they didn't have one. I thought, oh, I'd love a little apple, an apple, family apple pie. I love about a third of one of those. And I'll sit there and have that with a cup of tea while I'm watching Holby City. And they didn't have any. But they did have little apple crumbles. The only thing, and it's in those little pots. It's never very much, is it? You know those little things you get like steamed puddings? Like strawberry jam pudding, sticky toffee pudding. What's the other one? Treacle sponge pudding. And they come in like these little plastic pots. Serves one. What? One mouse? Is that? They're so small. You generally buy those in 2. So I got 2 of those and I bought those home. And I had a tin of ambrosia custard. So I had half of the tin on that one of those while I was sitting there watching Holby City. And then I just felt a bit ill. So I came to bed at about 3:15 and I woke up again at 6:30. So there's something wrong. I have actually done a coronavirus test tonight, which has come back negative. So I don't think it's that. But I've had a little bit of trouble with my stomach as well this morning, in and out the toilet early on till I sort of left at 10 o'clock. So there's something going on in here, but one of those things, isn't it? We all have little illnesses. Trouble is, you get an illness now and you immediately think you've got coronavirus, don't you? Every single time. Isn't that weird? Why are we like that now? Anyway, so that was my day so far. I can't believe that, Halfords. It's just mad. You should have just said, no, we can't do it now. Bring it in. If he'd have said, we can't do it now, if you bring it in, well, I couldn't do next week anyway, because I'm away, of course. If you could bring it in, when can you bring it in? Any day after so-and-so. I sort of, well, I'll bring it in Wednesday, the 5th of, the 5th of June or whatever. So just give a date there, 5th of June. And, okay, we'll do it then. That would have been fine. But he wanted to hang on to it, have a look at it, and then come back when I'm supposed to come back. It's just mad. Just mad. Not a clue. Cycling professionals at Halfords. Very disappointed with that work. Anyway. Right. If you'd like to send us a message, direct message to me, either on the phone number up there, my darlings. That isn't a phone number, incidentally. That's for texts only. Top left-hand corner there, okay, is for texts only. There is a phone number, which I'll be giving out later on, and you can call in if you want to. I did actually nearly abandon the programme. When I went to bed, I thought, I'm not going to be well enough to do this show today. But, as I say, I got up at 6:30, came in here, fired it up at about 7 o'clock, and you got some. I think you ran out of we ran out of music tonight, didn't we? At some point, never mind. And turned it all on, and then I went down and had some burgers with baked beans on top of them and a little bit of mozzarella cheese. Came in here, done myself up a little bit for you, and here we are. So it seems all right. I don't think I'm going to peg out doing it. We're not going to do a who's the guy who died on there? Lovely man, Tommy Cooper. We're not going to do a Tommy Cooper tonight, I promise you. Well, I hope not anyway. Hope not. All right, so let's read some of your messages out on the old text. A very good evening to George Bond tonight. Hello to Gary Ross, who says, hurry up. What do you mean, hurry up? 8 o'clock's 8 o'clock, darling. We're never late. When have I been late? Unless we've had a technical issue. When have I been... Come on. When have I been late? Answer, never. Evening, Gary. Hope you're well. Evening to the lovely Fran Green. Have you watched Holby yet? Yes, I have, Fran. I'll come on to it in a minute. All right, Fran. Evening to Diane Jeb. Hello to John Parrish this evening. And John says, hope you're well. Snowing all day here. Oh, no. Now, my mate sent me little pictures earlier of the... I don't know what weather forecast he's looking at. Right, he don't live far from me. He's just up. I can walk to his house in about 20 minutes. Right, hang on. Where is this now? Just a minute. Here we are. Look, so he sent me this earlier. Right, look. Little snowflakes. 000102. I suppose that's the time, is it? Okay, little snowflakes. But on the BBC thing, no snowflakes. So I hope it don't snow. Can't stand it. I can't bear it. I used to love snow as a child. There we are. Here on the BBC website. Look, here we are. Right, all rain. Just rain. No snow predicted at all. So I don't know what he's looking at. I can't stand it. No, it's very inconvenient snow, isn't it? Used to love it as a child. Really, kicking around, making snowballs on a sledge. We had this sledge, and Mum and Dad took us over to Richmond Park once. Was about, I don't know, about 8, 9 years old, 10 years old maybe. And was on this sledge, me and my sister. And there's a big hill, Kingston Hill. And we went hurtling down this bloody thing. I'll never forget. And we were going straight towards this tree, and we had to jump off. I had to jump off. Not now. I don't like snow now. No. Nasty, cold, wet stuff. Glad Sherry's enjoying her new job. Excellent news, Sherry. Glad you enjoyed your new job, Sherry. Well done, darling. Evening to Maureen. A very good evening to you, Maureen. Welcome. Hello to Ray Reynolds this evening, who says, Heidi hi, daddy hi, Heidi ho, Heidi hi. Ray was at the karaoke last night. He's been to every single one in the at the William Morris Bar. Last night we had a really good night, actually. I didn't mention it because I wasn't sure that he'd want you to know or not. But one of the singers last night was a keyboard player with ELO. I kid you not. I mean, how fantastic is that? One of the keyboards, because bands, their members change over years. You know, you've got the original ones and then you've got other people. And he was the keyboard player with ELO for a period of time. His name was Gary. How fantastic. And there he is at my karaoke. I was so pleased to meet someone like that because I love ELO. You don't really hear me play that on my radio show in the morning because it's a bit rocky. I mean, we could do it, you know. If someone reminds me tomorrow, let's play Mr. Blue Sky. I do that at the karaoke. Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't no clouds above. That one. Oh, I love it. Mr. Blue Sky, I learned so someone. That one. Can you do that one? Thank you, Ray. Good evening to the lovely Shania. Evening, Shania. Don't know when you joined us, my darling, but I done my meeting with Father Danny today about Easter. Monday, Thursday, Good Friday and Sunday. I don't know where you joined us, but just Good Friday was the one I was really worried about. And he says, you've got nothing to worry. In actual fact, there's hardly any music on Good Friday. Because we enter in silence, of course. Then there's a big bit of liturgy, you know, a very big bit of liturgy, including the very sad bit in the gospel, which always does me in, Shania. It does me in when the priest lays down in front of the altar on the Good Friday. And then... of course, veneration of the cross, that is the bit that needs all these hymns. So I've got a list of hymns. Survey the Wondrous Cross, all stuff like that. Jesus Remember Me, you know the Tays one? all that business. And then communion, and then that's about it. And then, of course, we go away in silence again. So there's actually not a lot to do on Good Friday at all, really. Although he has asked for the sung psalm, which I don't do psalms, really. I haven't done psalms for a long time, but they're fairly simple, you know. It's all the same tune. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean. Anyway, evening, Jason. Evening to Jason Hughes. There's Jason. And hello to Luke. Good evening, Luke. Now, which Luke are you? Which Luke are you? Luke reckons I've got that stomach bug going around. Yes. Well, yeah, it was certainly a stomach thing earlier on today. Yeah, I was in and out a little bit while the radio show was on this morning, Luke. Which Luke are you? Are you the Luke from Maidenhead? Or the Luke from Central Station? Which Luke are you? Lukey baby, which Luke are you? Tell me, okay? I'll pop in and out of the chat box as well to say hello to some people. Michael Lawrence, evening to Michael Lawrence. Hello to MP Dodsworth. Hello to Wonder Woman. Good evening, Rachel. She says she's got 1,016 cases of COVID. Yeah. Evening to William Chisholm. Long time no see, William. Welcome back to our little show there. We've said hello to John Parrish. I think that's everyone in there, is it? Let's just scroll quickly. Anyone else going to send us a little message today? Send it through, either texting. If I sometimes I miss names on the chat box, okay, because there's so much going on there. So if you find that's happening, just text me in your message 07451 287 337, or you can send an email. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. Okay, so yes, which Luke are you? Still waiting to hear from Luke, so we know which Luke is Luke. All right, okay, boys and girls. I have now seen Holby City. Wow. Well, we didn't expect that, did we, Fran? I've now seen Holby City. There was quite a lot going on. Of course, the main story was the character Jack Naylor has a brain tumour. And this has been going on for some months. Last week, she went to have a very, very risky operation, and there was no guarantee that it would work. In fact, it was just a small chance that it would work. She could have died there and then on the operating table. Sadly, she woke up and she says it worked, but it didn't. They weren't able to do what they had to do to it. So basically, she's in the hospital and she's now come to terms with the fact she's going to die. Sasha, who's another great character, great character. He's in the hospital bed with her about halfway through the... It didn't happen at the end, you see. That's why it was so unexpected. He was in the bed... Sorry, he was in the hospital room with her. And he said something to her. And she said, you know, I do love you, or something like that. Not in that way. You know, in the same way as I sort of love my sister, you know. Please don't tell her that. I'll never hear the end of it. Please don't ever tell my sister that. Don't tell my sister that I love her, because I'll never hear the end. But you said... It'd be like that, you know. Anyway, so he said something about love, and she said, you know I love you. And then she went... and then she passed out. And she wasn't dead. It was her brain. She'd had a stroke. But before that, just before that, the one that she should be with, really, Fletch, he's one of the nurses, she'd got him to sign one of those do not resuscitate things. No, I think it was a bit more than that. Because she wasn't dead. Her brain had stopped functioning. I think there's another thing they sign if your brain stops functioning. She'd signed that. So all these people come, oh, quickly. No, wait, you'll have to stop. She signed this. And if they've got that in their hands, there's nothing they can do. You've decided that you want to go at that point, which is completely understandable to people. You know, I always remember my father once. He was extremely ill once. And he said to me, oh, Chris, I don't want to be here anymore. You know, I'm sure perhaps you... we're not talking about, like, suicide. That's a different thing altogether. You know. When you're that ill and you're in so much pain, you just don't want to be here anymore. And I get that. I get that. And she decided that, and she'd signed this bit of paper. And so now she's asleep. But she'd also had organ donation things. And this is where it was just so wonderful at the end. So she's on a machine because they have to keep your body breathing even though you're brain dead. Otherwise, all the organs become useless fairly quickly. I gather different organs have a different sort of lifespan if you're dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure the heart couldn't last more than a couple of minutes or a few minutes, and maybe the kidneys are a little bit longer, or the lungs. I don't know how it works. We're not medical people, but you've got to keep the body going to keep these things alive. Going back to earlier in the programme, there's a lady in there. She'd been in a couple of weeks ago for kidney transplants, and they'd found kidneys, but then when she went for tests, see if you can work out where this is going. When she went for tests, they found she had a heart defect. Therefore, she couldn't have the tests unless she found a new heart. Yeah? And, wow. Jack Naylor's dead there. And then Mr. Hendrick, who's a wonderful character again, he's gone in to see the lady who thought she was going to die, and he said, "You're extremely lucky. A heart has become available." And I thought, wow, that's Jack Naylor's. Of course, it's only a story, yeah? That's Jack Naylor's heart she's going to get. Yeah? And then the programme carried on. And it was very clever, actually. They took the lungs, and then the picture changed to a picture of an ambulance going to another hospital, and there in the hospital was one of the other Holby City stars that had been in there years earlier, who was performing some sort of operation. And the same with the eye cornea thing. I think that's something to do with the eyes, and something else. I don't know if it was a kidney, one kidney maybe. I think the old lady had a kidney, and another kidney went somewhere else. And again, it was another star who had been in Holby City years previously and had moved on from Holby City to another hospital. It was a great way to wrap it up, and then it finished, and it's all really sad and that. And the closing titles included big pictures of all the staff from many, many years ago. You know, like if you go into any sort of place of employment, you know, if you was to go in today, you could take a picture of all the staff standing in the room. Go back 5 years and they'd be all different. Yeah, that's how they did it. They started at the beginning and it came forward and forward and forward to the present day stars. And that was it. And the music, they obviously rejigged the music at the end. And it was incredibly sad. The whole blooming programme was sad. And my bloody mate rang about halfway through where Jack Naylor is standing there. And I'm in floods of tears. He said, what the F's wrong with you? That's what he said. I said, "Oh, Jack Naylor, she's just giving all her organs away." And I'm like, crying into my cup of tea. Oh God! But and that's it, and that's it. Did you see it? I just think it's one of the BBC's biggest mistakes. I really do. They're devil for cancelling things that are still working, you know. And get this, here's the worst bit of news. Do you know what they've replaced it with next Tuesday? Because I had a look. Bleeding MasterChef. Another cookery programme. Like we need another cookery programme on the telly. Oh, God, it's not even a drama. Why? Because it's got to be to do with money. Because it's cheaper. You know, awful. Anyway, there we go. That was Holby City. And I really will miss that. I will really miss. I'm already missing it now, to be honest. And hasn't it gone quick? Hasn't it gone quick when we found out? Not from me, but well, maybe you did hear it from me. I don't know. From when we first heard that Holby had been cancelled. Was it last August? June, July, August time last year. And here we are, and that's it. It's finished. Done. Gone. So sad. So disappointed. Thank you, Luke. Luke Bickers. Okay, I've got you now, Luke. John, I thanked you for the tip right at the beginning of the programme, dear. Did you not hear it? The only amount of people that send messages and do stuff and then don't hear me say thank you. Who was it? Someone else the other day? I can't remember. There we are. Just go back to the show for a recording and you'll hear that happen, John, all right? Shania is the only one serving during Holy Week. Why is that then? Is that because of coronavirus? Is that because of coronavirus, Shania? Hello to Lisa B. Hello, Lisa. Be careful on Friday. It's April the 1st. Yeah, it's my nephew's birthday on Friday, the younger one. Is he 26? 26 years old. I've got a nephew who's 37. A niece who's 35. And another nephew who's 20. I think he's 26 on Friday, 1st of April. He's an April fool, and he is a fool. He likes practical jokes and things like that. Yeah, Jim is 20. I can't believe Jim is 26. Yeah. So I'll be going out with, I'll get him a dinner voucher. There's a place that him and his girlfriend like to go for dinner. In, what's the name of the area now? Timberland, I think it's called. Timberland. He goes there. There's a specific pub him and his girlfriend like to go for dinner. So I'll probably pick up great niece Evie because she likes going to the pub with me. Great niece Evie next week sometime. We'll pop over to the pub, collect a voucher and have a little I'll get her a J2O. Oh, she feels very grown up sitting in that pub. The only thing is the Christmas tree won't be there this time. Maybe I'll take Harry as well. I don't know if Harry would want to come to a pub with me. Thank you, Lisa. Evening to the lovely Sherry. Good evening, Sherry. Who says, good evening, Chris and all your viewers. Thanks for the greeting, by the way. Much appreciated. Yes, greetings to you, Sherry. Work is okay, but still having lots of learn. I'm still adjusting with the hours of work. She's now doing 8 to 5 this week and then 7 a.m. next week. Oh, it changes, does it? Yeah. I wouldn't be too happy with a changing time. Oh, it's not too bad, is it? It's only an hour difference. Hope the weather in Royal Berkshire is better than here. It feels like winter. It was snowing here this afternoon. Love your attire. You're looking very dapper. Oh, thank you very much. I haven't done anything different today, Shania. It's nice to be noticed like that. Very nice to be noticed. Thank you, my love. Yes, it's surprising, isn't it, how lovely it was last week. It was a couple of times I walked up to the swimming pool in a T-shirt. You know, no way today. I was cold on that bicycle for a few moments after I warmed up. Yeah, evening, Sherry. Hello to Greg. Evening, Greg. Hope you're doing okay today. He's had a bit of a wobble the other day. I'm trying my best. Greg lost his mum fairly recently. Oh, I'm afraid those wobbles will keep happening, I'm afraid, Greg, for some time, my friend. And they're very sudden and you don't know when they're coming. Anything can set it off. Something on the telly, bit of music. It will happen for a while, I'm afraid, Greg. Nothing you can do about it, okay? Chin up. Chin up. Shania doesn't have any other water servers anymore. Is that right? You're the only one. Why have they all left? You haven't been treating them badly, have you, Shania? Eh? I hope you haven't been slapping the back of their legs when they do something wrong. Huh? Perhaps you're too harsh on them, Shania. I mean, you seem to notice things. Shania had a go at me the other week. Yeah, because the organ is actually movable. And I didn't have enough space for my legs. So I pushed the organ a little bit, right, which moved the altar servers' chairs only a couple of inches forward. And Shania, straight away, she must have been watching on the camera. So she said, you wouldn't get away with that in my church. I think you might be a little bit too strict on the other altar servers, Shania. Is that what's going on? Now, what did I have here? I got something out the other day. Is it still here? Oh, there it is. Here, Shania. What I found. Yes! Look at them all looking at this. Ow! What's that? Clueless they are, Shania. Look at that. There you go, Shania. Look, you know what that is. Only a plastic. Have you got a metal one? Don't tell me you've got a metal one. Have you got a metal one? Have you? Thank you, Shania. Just a second. Have we done all those? Oh, that's from Vera earlier on. From Vera's Choice in the lovely morning. Excellent. Are you talking about cars again? Oh, for God's sake! Cars and bleeding football. That's all the chat box. Women, girls, take over the chat box, will you, ladies? I'm sick to death of them just chatting about bleeding cars and football all the time on there. Is anyone listening to anything? God's sake, man. Rachel says, I never watched Holby. I used to watch Casualty. As seems to be the case for most people I talk to, actually, to be honest there. Okay. Anyone else chatting away? You see, I can't... It's difficult to pick out the messages that Lisa Baker. Good evening to Lisa Baker. Welcome to the show, Lisa. Just scrolling down a little bit more, and that's good. Right, okay. All righty. There we are. Shania. Not at all. I'm one of the youngest in the parish in one church. I am the youngest. I have a silver one. I knew you'd have the other one. I knew it. You are a special, very important person. Very important person. Okay, Doug, then. Have you ever... Oh, now, what's that there? Have you the experience of nosy neighbours? I don't know what that's there for. Noisy! Oh, it's noisy! Now, why have I put that there? Must have lost a story somewhere. Have I lost a story somewhere? Just a minute now. 1 minute. Have I lost a story here? I think I've lost a story. And what was I going to say about noisy neighbours? Because I don't have noisy neighbours. I've been very lucky. I've not ever had noisy neighbours anywhere that I've lived at all. Not at mum and dad's house. Not really in Peckham. Not in my flat in Wandsworth. And certainly not here. I have wonderful neighbours here, as I've said before. There is one bloke who's over and away a little bit. He's not close to my house, but he's got one of those grinding machines. Oh, it's such an annoying noise. It's not wood. As this blooming ring goes round and round on strips of concrete or stuff like that. It's most annoying. Most annoying, that is. But apart from that, I don't know why I've got that. Have you any experience with noisy neighbours? There must have been a news story I saw, and I haven't put it on there. So we'll leave that one, I think. Are you doing anything to save money on your energy bills? There's a question for you. Have you started turning anything off? Or turning things down at all, perhaps? Are you doing anything at all to save money on your energy bills? As you know, my heating, my gas heating, I have that on 13 or 14 degrees. Okay? And I don't feel cold, really. I have a jumper on. And when I'm watching the telly, I have a blanket over me. I do have a separate heater come air conditioning unit, actually one in here and one in my bedroom. And that goes on 20 minutes. Actually, don't need 20 minutes. Probably be all right 10 minutes before I go to bed. And I close the door. And that heats up the bedroom really quickly. So I've cut right back on my gas. I used to have that on, same as yourselves, 20, 21 degrees, 19 degrees, 18 degrees. My mate generally has his on 20 or 21, I think, and just leaves it on there. I leave mine on, and it's been on now for a few months, and it's just on at 13, and that's fine to me, you know. And I think you very quickly become accustomed to the fact that it's not like a blooming sweatbox in your house. But I've done that. I've also turned off all the fairy lights that used to come on around the garden. They don't come on anymore. In fact, I've even cut the wire. I cut the wire to those. I've just got to remove them now from the top of the fence. I had the same things at the caravan, little fairy lights. And you may well say, well, you know, fairy lights don't cost a lot to put on, and they don't. But, you know, every penny saved, you know, every penny saved. I've always turned off lights around the house. One of the most annoying things my mate does is turn a light on. Yeah, when you don't need to turn it on. He just seems to come in and automatically turn it on. But apart from turn the heating off or down, I'm just trying to think, have I done anything else? I don't think I have. There is nothing else. I'm already very, very careful with not using things and wasting things. My mum always taught me you must never waste anything. Don't waste anything. Electricity, water, food, anything like that. Again, with the water, you know, you want a glass of water, I turn the tap on, have a glass, and that's it. Or fill up the kettle as soon as the water comes. I don't run it. My mate comes in, he wants a glass of water. He runs the bloody tap for 2 minutes. What a waste. I tell him. He says there's bits in the pipes. Oh, I don't know about that. You know. I've got water butts outside that I try and water everything with, but I'm not really doing anything else since the increase of the electricity and gas prices, which come into effect in a couple of days' time. That's the first increase, of course. You know. Fridge freezer, well, you can't do a lot with that, can you? I mean, you can't exactly turn it off for a couple of hours a day, because when it comes on again, it'll just stay on until it brings the food back up to the cold temperature that it's, or back down to the cold temperature that it's supposed to be on. But have you done anything to try and save electricity or anything like that, or gas, or anything, water? I had a water meter fitted years ago. That saved a great amount of money. Water meters. And it makes you careful as well. Yeah, if I say to you, you know, you can have as much water as you want for £200 a month, you wouldn't bother turning the tap off, would you? No. Even when I have a shave, we don't have a running tap. We fill up a little cup with hot water or warm water, and we shave, we dip it in there, we shave, we dip it in there, we shave, we dip it in there. Quick rinse under a running tap, empty the cup, rinse it out, done. More water saved. Some people even go further. They don't always flush the chain. You know, if it's just a wee, they might wee 4 or 5 times before they flush. I can't do that. I think it would stain the toilet. You know, not nice, is it? You know, I think some people don't flush the chain purposely, like my nephew, Gary. He'd be someone that wouldn't flush. He'd just leave it there so that you're shocked when you go and see it. But what have you done anything like that at all to save money? 07451 287 337 for your texts there, okay? And Vera sent in an email here. Now, she did send 2 attachments, which I haven't seen yet, I must admit. Sorry about that, my darling. And she's got the energy prices, how much they're going up for her. She says, Vera says, I don't have a smart meter and I don't intend to get one. No, me neither. I don't want a smart meter either. Once you've got a smart meter, you can be turned off remotely. You know, anytime they want. I mean, I suppose they can do that now in a way, can't they? They can actually turn your electricity off at any point, but they have to be in certain places to have to do it. Once everyone's got a smart meter, they could have just one office, I don't know, probably up north somewhere, due to levelling up, or Cardiff, somewhere like that. There'd be a bloke in a room, oh right, you can have your electric turned off, and he pushes a button, that's it, you're off, gone. All computerised. You know. I don't want a smart meter either, really. Vera doesn't want one. She says, what makes me laugh is that they say I'm on the cheapest variable tariff. Yet if I pay by direct debit and change my meter, I could get it cheaper. They also know that I'm a single person too, so they could change it at their end, but no. I live on my own and I can't cut the cost down because everything here is electric. When you use the kettle, toaster and hob to cook breakfast, that's a lot of energy. Yes, it is, yeah. But, I mean, what else can you do? Nothing else you can do, is there? If I changed my eating habits, I could do it at nights. I think I might start living in the great outdoors. There's plenty of places I could put up a tent here. Oh no, very cold in the winter, Vera. Has anyone been fitted with a smart meter and has it cut down the cost, or is it something they regret doing? Vera would like to know that. Have you had a smart meter? How's it going for you? Did it work? Did it make any difference at all? Or do you wish you hadn't done it? Or are you glad you did it? Smart meters. Anyone got a smart meter? Let us know, okay? You can call in about this one if you want to. Phone lines are open now. 020 8144 3477. As always, gang, there's only one phone number, okay? Once, if someone's on the phone, you can't call in, okay? You've got to wait till they've finished. You'll get an answer phone. But Vera says here, energy prices are going up. Currently, it reckons she spends £503 a year on electric. That's going to go up to £719 a year. An increase of just over 215 quid, nearly 216 quid. And you know, that increase, your payment there doesn't sound too bad to me. £713 a year. It's still less than £100 a month, isn't it? Mine's just gone up to £103 a month. And I've got solar panels here. You know. George is on the line. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
All right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to say, the smart meters, actually, they make it go up, not down. The prices.
Have you got a smart meter now, have you?
Yeah.
Is that at your nan's house, yeah?
Yeah.
What has she found then?
She's found the money has gone up.
What, by quite a lot?
Yeah.
Wow.
£655 she has to pay now.
How much?
£655 now.
Is that a year?
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you know what it was before at all?
No.
No, okay. Well, it still doesn't seem that bad to me. £655 a year for electricity. Just electricity, is it?
Yeah, well, electricity, water and gas.
No, it won't be for all three, because that would be different bills.
Probably electric and water.
No, electric and water wouldn't be on the same bill.
Yeah.
Never mind, you probably haven't worked it out. But £655 for a year's worth of electricity doesn't sound bad at all to me, to be honest. That sounds quite good, George.
What was the other thing I was going to ask you? Oh, yeah, I've got a joke for you.
Oh, yes. Is it better than one of Dan Woodhouse's jokes? Because they fall flat on the ears. Fall on flat ears. Oh, go on then. Throw it at me.
It was my birthday yesterday.
Is that the joke?
Are you finished yet?
Oh.
It was my birthday yesterday, and I wanted something with diamonds. Guess what they brought me?
What?
Pack of cards.
Right. Words fail me. Go on, get off, George. How's your COVID? All right?
I've got two negative.
Have you gone? Have you gone?
No, I'm still here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
George, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Can you hear me, George?
Yes, I can hear you.
Is he still with us?
Hello? Hello?
Are you there, George?
Yes.
Is it you still there, George?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I had two negative tests.
Good, so you're better now then. Do you feel better?
Yeah. It's just my nan and papa got it.
Oh. Are they okay, though? Are you having to look after them?
Yes.
Do you do cooking, George? Do you do cooking?
Yes, I do cooking.
What is your favourite thing to cook?
Beans on toast.
Oh, yes. Do you ever put cheese on there as well?
Yeah, and I always make the beans. Is it condemned? You call it?
Congealed.
Congealed, that's it.
Where they've gone all thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I like them. Me and my nephew's wife, Stacey, she loves congealed beans. We love congealed beans. So much better. My mate comes round here. He has to have his done separately. Everything. Well, do you know when he comes round for dinner, I have to do 2 lots of everything because he can't have it as standard. Always has to be specially done.
I was talking to, who was it, Daniel Woodhouse about this. I like it when you two are...
You keep cutting out tonight, George.
It's my signal, it's a bit rubbish.
Okay, carry on. What was you saying?
I like when you two argue, you and his name.
We don't
Your
argue.
Best friend, what is his name?
We don't argue.
Your be-
Me and Dan don't argue.
Not you and Dan. I'm on about you and your best friend.
Oh, me and Ronnie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just one long constant argument. It is. It's one long constant argument. That's all it is. He's never happy unless he's arguing.
I find it hilarious. Because I was watching one of the recorded shows.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Oh, the one of the bacon one.
One of the vegan bacon ones, yes.
Yes. Not the. I think it was the Richmond's one.
Richmond, yeah.
And Ronnie was using a metal spatula.
Oh, yes! In my bleating teeth-out thing. He said, I'll be careful. I said, no, you won't. You won't use it. You're not supposed to use metal things in teeth-out stuff, or the black will come off.
Yeah. And then he flicked oil at you.
He did. Trouble is, if you've got one of those black teeth-out things, you scrape it with that with a metal thing, and the black comes off, starts looking like Michael Jackson. What happened to Michael Jackson as well? He went from black to white overnight, didn't he? How'd you do that? Oh, George, you are funny. So listen, you do me a favour and you look after your nan and your grandpa and your grandpa.
Now you know why I was texting you twice on Reach On Air because of my phone. That's why.
What's why? No, no. You always moan about people blocking you. Well, stop pissing them off then, and they won't block you, love. You go and look in the chat box now and see how many people agree with that statement. Stop pissing them off, and then they won't block you. And listen here. Take my advice here. Take this piece of advice. Once someone has blocked you, don't ask them to unblock you. Move on. Just move on.
Yeah. I know someone who blocked me, and I'm not going.
Oh, that sounds like a dropout to me. You gone?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, right. Go on. You're not going to what? Name them? Oh, yes, you must. Name them, darling.
No.
Yeah, no, name them, darling.
She unblocked me. She unblocked me, so.
If you name them, right, I will whip them for you.
Her name's called Chloe Ramsey.
Chloe Ramsey. There you go, my darling. There you go. They have now been whipped for you. Okay, love?
Yes.
Well, what do you expect? She was your girlfriend and someone's dumped the other one. I don't know which way round it is. That's pretty irrelevant. Yeah, why would you want to talk to an ex? Get rid of them, dear. Bye. Bye.
I dumped her because she was controlling my life.
No, we'd never noticed that. Had we, anyone? We'd never noticed that. You can't be talking about girlfriends and things like that when they're not here to defend themselves, my love. We can't have any of that going on, darling. All right, my love? It's over. Yeah. That's it. Move on. Once something's over, that's it. Move on. And once someone blocks you, if someone blocks you on a chat box, that's fine. Move on. Don't say, oh, please unblock me. It does sound pathetic, George. I've seen people, oh, please unblock me. No, just move on. Move on and find someone else to talk to.
Just make a new YouTube account. That was that simple.
Well, you do that all the time, don't you, my love? How many YouTube accounts have you had over the last 10 years?
3.
Is it 1 a year, 5 a year, 10 a year?
No, 3.
Oh, God's sake, man. Right, I'm going to move on. Thank you, George.
Okay.
Love to Chloe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, dear. We do have a laugh, don't we? Let's go back to this. Anyone else talking about the energy cost? Let's have a little look on there. Greg says, Chris, isn't life too short for penny pinching? No, dear, we mustn't spend the money, Greg. No, we mustn't spend the money. Fran Green says, we have a smart meter for the water, but nothing else. It did halve our bills. I didn't know you could get a smart water meter for water. I didn't know that. I've got a water meter, but I don't think it's a smart one. They just send me a bill. And again, same as you, actually, Fran. My bill My water meter halved complete. My water bill halved completely with that smart meter. John Parrish says we have a smart meter. It is a pain, but we use £2 a day on gas and electricity together. Only problem is you tend to keep looking at it. Yeah, I know what you mean. When I had solar panels put in, they put in a meter as well, and you can see how much electricity you're generating, and I'm constantly looking at that. You just leave it. Why do you need to? What can you do by seeing how much electricity? Well, I mean, actually, yeah. The idea with solar panels is that when you know you're generating a lot of electricity, that's when you put on things like washing machines and hoovers and stuff like that. So that is a point. George is wrong. Doesn't cost more as have a smart meter. Probably reading it upside down. Vera's got a pay-as-you-go meter just for electricity. The heater and hot water is on a different meter. Thank you very much, Vera. Maureen hasn't got a smart meter. I don't want one, as again, it's another device using electricity. I would imagine a smart meter would use a very, very, very tiny piece of electricity to work. Remember, it's just reading what you're buying. That's what it's there for. Okay, Maureen. So it wouldn't cost you anything extra, or it shouldn't cost you anything extra to have a smart meter. And Adam the plumber is here. Evening, Adam, who says, that's right, Chris, we mustn't spend the money. You've got to leave it all to me in your will. Oh, there's very, very specific instructions from my will, including if people don't turn up at the funeral. Line goes through that name. Don't care how old you are. Everyone's going to be at that funeral, and everyone will sing each and every hymn. I will have people there watching. Anyone who's not singing, little line through their name. No cash for you. Dan Woodhouse, do you think I'll have any cash for you in my will?
Well, considering I've been not... Hang on, I can hear myself, Chris.
Oh, that's... I'd hate to
That's
hear
not right,
you, to
is
be
it?
honest. Oh, Fran's just correcting herself, Lo, so let me just... would you like to ring back? That usually sorts it, Dan.
You want me to ring back?
If it's bothering you... Is it bothering you or not?
I think that's all right now.
Oh, OK, just a minute. Let me read this from Fran. She says, I meant we had a water meter fitted and it halved our bills. Yes, same with me, Fran. I had a water meter fitted, it must be over 10 years ago, and my bills halved, my water bills. Thank you very much, Fran. Anyway, Dan, what are you up to?
Yeah, it was my birthday last week. Someone bought me a deck of cards.
Oh, right.
But that's not why you called, but anyway.
That's an Alex Belfield saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, did you see?
I told George yesterday. I said he asked me. He said, I'm going to tell Chris about the birthday card and take a deck of cards and so on. And I thought, George, if you're going to do it,
you're getting fainter and fainter and fainter. Speak into the phone, dear.
I'm trying to hold it and balance myself properly on this bed and all that. But I did warn him, if you're going to do it, preferably don't. But if you're going to do it, try and just run it past quick, so that it doesn't don't make a big song and dance about it. But,
what are you talking about?
A joke of that type, of that media.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's get this straight, Dan. You were advising George on how to tell jokes.
Yeah,
That's probably
right way,
why it
wrong
didn't
way.
work.
Well, because I've been doing some research into humour.
Have you?
Yeah. Yes.
It'd be wasted on my sister. She don't do humour at all, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
No,
but yet she likes my calls, apparently.
She loves your phone calls, my sister.
Mm.
She looks forward to your phone calls. I wish I could say the same, but...
Oh, bless.
I should be grateful for anyone to bloop and call into this programme.
Well... Yeah, I mean, how many are you up to at the moment? 24 at the moment.
What calls? 2? You and George?
No, I mean, viewers 24.
Oh, I don't know. Why are you obsessed by these people are obsessed with these viewing numbers all the time. Why? Why are you obsessed? Oh, 24 people watching. I see them sometimes in the chat box. Oh, bit quiet here today. Don't bother me. Don't bother me, these numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I had a nice live video this morning. It was just me and the test card. That's all it was.
Well, I'm sure that you found that enthralling. I'm just trying to work out what I'd rather watch, you or the test card. Bit of a toss-up.
I've got the music for. I've got them. The best test
please
card
don't start
music
playing
that
test
they've
card
ever watched.
music. No test card music.
What do you mean? So there were some of the best bands in Germany did that.
If you say so, dear.
And there's some of the most delicious pages from CFAX as well.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're on the phone, I think I might want to swap my mints for cyanide tablets. I wonder if I can get a tin of cyanide tablets. There you go. As you're obsessed about... You watch the viewers go up if I take one of those.
But if you want to have the cyanide, whatever that is, I'll have the chili corn chips.
The chili what?
The chili corn chips.
What are they? Oh, I know. What's the brand name?
Old El Paso?
No. Doritos. Do you mean Doritos?
No.
I like the cheese ones.
You see, Chris, these new chili chips, these taste like that proper old-fashioned chili flavour that you used to get on snacks years ago.
Do they?
The trouble is, what's happened in recent years is that they've had this new thing about chili flavour, and they have to call it now sweet chili.
Right.
And it's just not the same. But there's something not right about it. But this proper, it tastes like that proper dry, old-fashioned chili flavour.
Okay.
That you used to get back in the 80s and 90s,
I don't remember. I only started liking chili fairly recently, to be honest.
We're going to try Old El Paso chili corn chips, 75 pence in Asda,
right,
for about 185 gram.
Okay.
Yeah, try and get them in early, then you can have a packet on the bus, and and then you just drift along, eating, listening to Chris Reardon's United Kingdom talk show and all that, and they're really nice. Yeah. So what else happened? Oh yeah, we had a nice day Saturday on the buses.
Right.
Going back in time, I did learn something on that day.
What was that?
As much as we might love our route masters and RTs, I did have to get on a normal one-man bus at some point because of the people who I was with.
So what is this? You did some sort of bus trip out, was it?
Yeah, it was a special running. It was a special running day, or as I called it, the Great Bus Race.
Oh right.
Of the Route 101 from North Woolwich to Manor Park and Wanstead via East Dam. But what I learned was getting on the normal one-man bus, there was a woman in front of me with about 2 very heavy shopping bags, and I could tell if that had been a route master or RT, she would have struggled, because you've got to have one hand up on at least one rail to actually push yourself up on that huge high step up.
Okay.
And then to actually get on it. So in a way, you could say, yeah, that's one good thing for the modern one-man bus. As for the ride quality, well, there are a few bumps and what's in the road, but you didn't, on the Route Master RT, you didn't feel quite so shaken. Around here, when I go to Mum's and go off the bus around here, I come off that bus and I'm like,
well, maybe it's not that. Maybe you've got Parkinson's or something like that.
Parkinson's?
Yeah.
What Michael Parkinson? What is he? Is he? Or
no, Michael Parkinson's. Parkinson's disease, that makes you shake. How do you know it's the bus and not you? Have you been to the doctor? Surgery?
I try and avoid the doctors if I can, actually, Chris.
You'd be in there for years. You don't want to be clogging up the queues trying to get in there, my love.
No, it's normally full of old people. They've got nothing wrong with them.
Exactly, that's why I asked if you went.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't. I just avoid it, If I die, I'll die. If I don't, I don't.
Let us know if you go. And if you do think you're about to die, could you line up a new viewer? Because we can't afford to lose viewers according to our low numbers, according to you.
I don't know if Penny L would watch.
Hey?
I don't know if Penny L would watch this.
Penny who?
Penny Howell,
Who's she?
My friend and devoted confidant and that sort of thing.
Is this a girl that you fancy, is it, by any chance?
No, she's got a bloke anyway, Neil Forgo.
Oh, right.
He's a great mate of mine as well.
You do seem to fancy a lot of girls. It's just a shame that none of them really sort of. Well, anyway.
They're not really my type. I think I'm a good flirt with them.
Do you think so? Yes.
I know how to, but on a night out, I can dance with girls. I can, and flirt with them and whatever. But the trouble is, these are all girls that are bloody taken. Trying to find a girl my own age who's single, preferably child-free as well.
Why is that then? What's wrong with kids?
Well, I don't think it's.
Have you not got?
I don't mind children. It's just that.
Have you got nieces and nephews? No.
No, I've only got in the family. We've only got cousins Harry, James, and Emily.
Oh, you are missing out then. They're great fun, the kids. You get on better with them than you do the adults.
Yeah,
older
would,
people
but...
sort of my age. Well, no, actually, my age, aren't you, boy? It's the people who are sort of between 20, sort of between the sort of 40-ish ones. That they're a bit boring, to be honest.
Well,
Everything
that's
wrong
age,
with this world started when the millennials came along. That's when it all started going wrong. Everything was ticking over fine, and then the millennials were born. And that's what started all these problems off in the world. And then, of course, as the millennials have had their children have now followed by them, and it rolls over, you see. It's got worse and worse. Everything was fine until the millennials came of age.
Yeah, it should have been 4 years ago, isn't it, by now? If you do the mathematics, it'd be 4 years ago. It would have come. So it would have been 18. 2018 would have been 18 years, and then, or 16, I suppose, age of consent, really. And so then they could have,
What's age of consent got to do with it?
Well, I'm just thinking, you can't really count them below the age of consent.
I think you're a little bit obsessed with sex, aren't you? A bit obsessed with that, aren't you? You started talking about that word beginning with O, which I shall not reiterate from my mouth. On the lot, you upset someone very much last week, I tell you, love. We're going to put your filter on your mouth. Continue.
Hang on, run this by me, Chris. What happened last week?
No, I'm not mentioning it again, because that person might be watching and will be offended again, as indeed I was. But I never said anything. Can't say it now. Don't bring it up again. Got to say hello to Dickie Bourne, who wants to know, what do you call a Chinese man with a camera? Filming. Filming. Do you get it? Filming. See, that's a funny joke. That's a funny joke, isn't it? You don't seem to be laughing at all, Dan. Yet you want us to laugh at your jokes. Why is that?
I have not said a word.
No.
No, I've not said any joke at all.
How's your electric bill? Rachel says she's being charged £230 a month now. That's nothing compared to my brother-in-law, Rachel. I think his is going up to something like almost £100 a week. A week! A week! What's yours, Dan? Do you pay any bills, or is that all sorted out from the social security people, dear?
Mine is about £50. Sorry, 40 at the moment.
£40 a month.
Judging by the calculation, there would be an extra £10 a month.
Yes.
So I'm not doing bad for some poor, sad, lonely individual living on his own.
So that's 40. So it'd be £50 a month for combined gas and electricity.
Get gas and lecky, yes.
That doesn't sound bad at all to me.
Yeah, we don't include the water in that because water and electric don't mix. But I'm pretty pleased that it's not as bad as what it is.
Right. Mine's going to £130 a month. Sorry, £103 a month. That's the first jump.
So that's 103. So that's about more or less double. It must be all that. Must be all your appliances.
It's a
all
television
the stuff
studio,
in the room,
of course. It's all
mind
the
you, must save a bit when you go to the caravan.
It's all the entertainment I shove out that you've never tipped me for, which I have to admit.
I've never been able to because I've never been able to afford anything.
There is always an excuse, dear. Always an excuse. Yeah. Don't worry here about me sitting here under all these. I might have to start turning lights off, actually. We might have to sit here with just a small candle on.
Yeah, well, that would be like the start of BBC Two, wouldn't it? 1964.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah, and then
Not
ironically,
really, no,
what the first programme that went out? Play School.
How can you remember that? You weren't even here.
I've done the research.
Yes.
Yes, that they had to have the cows.
Is that it then,
Gerald
Dan?
Priestley. Same on. Yeah, sorry.
Is that it then?
Is that it? I suppose after about, what seems like 15 minutes, yeah. 15 minutes of hot Dan Woodhouse action.
Thank you, Dan. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you, Chris.
Keep practicing the jokes. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. My sister loves his calls. Anyone else want to call in? 020. Where's my number gone? Oh, there it is. 02081443477 if you'd like to call in tonight, perhaps about any of your electric stuff or anything like that. And the papers are forever telling us how we can save electricity and gas, but it's generally the same information. The Sun came out with some very interesting figures a couple of days ago. Again, how to tweak your energy bills downwards. It says here, turn off your heating timer. That kind of makes sense. It says you might have programmed your central heating to come on automatically at a certain time of the day. Now, I used to do this. But a few people said to me, if you let the temperature drop too much, then it's hard. It takes a lot of energy to get it back up there. So mine has been on constant since December. I started turning it down from 18 to 16 to 14, and now I leave it on 13, and it's on permanently on 13 degrees. Okay? It's on all the time. It's just on. It's not on a timer or anything. But I used to use a timer. It reckons here, as warmer weather comes along, having the heating on won't be as necessary. Now, I'm sure if you use a timer, you've had occasions where perhaps you have sat there and think, oh, it's a bit hot in here, and then you go and check. And of course, your central heating's come on because you've forgotten to turn it off. Yeah? So that kind of makes sense there. It says, as warmer weather comes along, having the heating on won't be as necessary. Don't forget to turn it off. Energyhelpline.com energy expert says, otherwise it could add hundreds to your bill. As much as £210. £210. Wow. It reckons with the upcoming change in the cost of energy, every hour you have your central heating on will typically cost you £2.10. I can't believe that. £2.10 an hour. Really? That sounds an awful lot to me. Turn off your timer during the warmest 6 months of the year and you can save 220 quid. I mean, I'm not so sure about that. The tumble dryer. Your old friendly tumble dryer. I haven't got one. I got rid of mine years ago because I thought that was using too much electricity. It says you might have been putting on your tumble dryer to good use over the winter months when it's hard to dry your clothes properly. You might not realise how much it's hitting your bank balance. If you're a bigger family doing 3 loads of washing a week and piling it into the dryer, you'll be spending £154 a year. Well, don't sound too much to me. What's that? 15, 14 quid a month to dry your clothes? Don't sound too bad to me, does it? But I suppose when you add all these different things up together, lighting, heating and all this business, it says halve it. You can halve it. Don't turn it on during the summer and hang your washing out on the line. It's free. Of course, no good if you're in a flat. But I mean, how many people in flats, you're drying your clothes perhaps in the kitchen or in the bathroom somewhere like that, do you do? I do mine in the kitchen. I'm here on my own, so, it doesn't matter. I mean, my mate has come into the kitchen before and says, like a Chinese laundry in here. And I've got stuff hanging all over the place in winter. Not so much now, because I've got 2 very long washing lines, actually, in the garden. There's actually quite a great sense of satisfaction, isn't there? To hanging out a load of washing and then it drying. In the middle of summer, half hour. That's all it takes, if that. And it's dry as a bone, isn't it? Of course, very annoying when you just take that risk. You think, oh, is it going to rain or not? Probably not. And you hang your washing out and guess what happens? You get wet washing again. I've had washing out here for days. When it's got wet, it's nearly dry. Just leave it out for another hour and then it chucks it down again. Do you do that? Anyone got a hot tub? Not for me, hot tubs. They really don't attract me at all. Unless, of course, there's a load of lads sitting in one, in which case I'm very happy to get in one. Actually, me and my mate, we haven't. Oh yes, we have once. We've used the jacuzzi there. You know, I've often think, you know, when you see a group of lads sitting in there, perhaps I'll go and join them and sit down. There was one at Chariots where I used to go. That was very, very popular. Anyway, if you've got a hot tub, that could be costing you 641 quid a year. Now that's a lot of money. Taking a dip in a hot tub can be tempting once the sun starts shining, but while they're fun to use, they're guzzling up energy and driving up your bills. According to this bloke, a typical 3,000 litre hot tub costs between £2.45 to £3.50, £3.50 an hour to run. Now, I don't know if you're leaving that on all the time. I don't have a hot tub. Actually, I don't think my sister's got one either. That's kind of all. They had this hot tub. They had this thing built a long time ago. I think maybe for my sister's 40th or 50th birthday, my brother-in-law got this hot tub thing with like a wooden shed type thing, and it's in there, you know, with windows and that. But it broke down, and actually the wooden thing looks a bit dodgy now as well, so I don't use it anymore. My nephew's got one. Do you leave that on all the time? I mean, presumably you can't let the water freeze, can you? Because then it would damage the hot tub, wouldn't it? I mean, I know that. I've had... What did I have? Something damaged. Oh, I had a bird water table. Someone got... It was my mate got me one Christmas. It was like a glass type material, and the water froze in it. I didn't take any notice. I said, oh, the water's frozen in that. Next morning I got up and it had defrosted. The water was gone, and so was the bird table in pieces on the floor. So do you have to leave a hot tub on all the time as a matter of interest? Does anyone know? It says if you have it on for an hour a day over the spring and summer months, an hour a day costs you £640 a year. Tubs are super expensive, as you have to pay for both the water you use and the electricity to power it. That's not including the water to fill it, which costs about £4.80 a go, and the added equipment and water care items you need, which also cost about £275. I suppose do you have to put chemicals in there? Is that like some sort of chlorine type stuff, like what they use in swimming pools? I don't know. Now, where it says, let's just check your messages there. Greg says, my niece Isla is 11. She helped me a lot over the last few weeks, bless her. Yes, indeed. Yeah, this is what I'm saying to Dan there. He's missing out because he hasn't got any like little people around, you know. It's the little people, not the leprechauns. It's the little people that bring sparkle and happiness into our lives, isn't it? You know, just sort of veering off onto another subject there. When you hear that a little person, or not necessarily just little, teenager, whatever, a member of your family or someone that you know has got somewhere, how much happiness does that bring you that they've been able to achieve that? Huh? It's like great niece Evie. She can ride a horse now. Wow, is she 8 or 9? I think she's 9. She can now ride a horse. Wonderful. Great nephew Harry, he does his football. He's won little things, you know, man of the match, that sort of thing, you know, things that they get little people to do. When they get swimming certificates, it's just great watching them do stuff like that, isn't it? There was a boy who used to listen to my radio show. I did a radio show on Play Radio years ago. It was a talk station. And this boy used to ring. Mikey Holt, his name was. And he was, I think, 13 at the time. It's a long time ago. 13 or 15, something like that. And he used to ring into the show and he would chat. And he was very much, he was going to do wrestling. He wanted to do a show about wrestling. He was into wrestling. Okay. Like WFF or whatever it's called. I can't remember now. Not like proper wrestling, what we had here in the UK in the 70s, with Mick McManus and Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy. Do you remember all those? Now, this is American wrestling. It's not real. I don't think anyone's getting hurt. Yeah, it's not real. Unless someone's getting hurt, it's not really worth watching, is it? Anyway, he was into that. And over the years, Facebook came along and we kept in contact. And we met up a few times as he got older. And it's wonderful. And he's now 27. 26 or 27, I think he is. And he's just started buying his own house. And he called into my friend Ross Patzelt the other night on his radio show. And I look at him and what he's achieved, and blooming marvellous. He's doing... hang on, I'll tell you what he's doing now. I think it was IT. I thought he was going to become a teacher. I thought he wanted to become a teacher. And he's been down here before to... not actually Bracknell, but where is it now? Camberley. He was in Camberley. I think he was doing some sort of teaching thing there. Hang on, let's find what he's doing now. Maybe one or two of you have been with us the show all these years, might even remember him. I was having a conversation with him the other day, and here we go. Where are we? Here we go. He said, no, his plans were to do IT and is now in the midst of a lucrative career in IT security. And he's like 26 or 27 now. I can't remember how old. So let's have a look. Is it there? It's here somewhere. Happy birthday. Oh, hang on. I used to watch this programme, but, you know, people grow out of it. I think he's 27. Let me work. He looks about 27. No, he's not 27 yet. Not 27. But anyway, we had a little chat last week just on the internet, and he says after a couple of years in Peterborough, he went to Peterborough, he's now living back in Grantham where he was when he was a little boy. He bought a house here, which completed the other week, so I've got my hands very full now with getting on that. All very grown-up stuff. It certainly is. And it's just wonderful to see people getting... I love seeing people getting on like that, didn't you? And Dan misses out on that because he hasn't got any little people around him, unfortunately. One of those things. Of course, the youngest one we've got now is baby Frank, who's now, I think, about 6.5, 7 months old. And I'm going up to there. They've got a christening, actually, up in Woodhall Spa in May, which I'll be attending there, you know. And I think I might wear my very best drag outfit for that and see how well that goes down. What do you reckon, eh? Thanks so much. John Parrish just sent another £1. Blimey. That's £3, John. Are you all right today, John? You're not usually this generous, John. What's wrong with you today? Just sent another £1. Gosh, that's £3 from John Parrish. Write it in your book, John, because I know that you like to remind me how much you've sent through. Huh? Thank you, John. Dan says my girlfriend thinks she's a chicken. I ain't said anything because I need the eggs. God. Hello to Built in Scotland. Hello to you, sir. Mr. Built in Scotland is here. Good evening to Peter Wright. Let's have a look. Let's scroll up there. Built in Scotland says it's £15 a day to run a hot tub. That's a lot of money, isn't it? That's an awful lot of money. I know some of you say, like Mick says, it's only money. Yeah, I get that. I get that. And John says it's supposed to be 21 degrees centigrade, the recommended temperature. Is that for the house? Is that for the house or the hot tub, John? Gosh. Good evening to Christina. Evening, Christina. She was hoping to join us after Dan had finished. No, fortunately, he's gone now. It was a long call. Thank you very much. Peter Wright, they're all sending... Wow, I've got £4 today. Peter Wright has just sent in £1 as well. What's wrong with you all today? Thank you, Peter. Why is everyone sending in cash tonight? Are you Are you all sort of getting rid of your money before the extra taxes come in? I'm very much looking forward to my extra 1 pence off my tax in 2 years' time. How kind of Mr. Dishy Rishi, to tempt us with that. We're going to give you 1p off income tax before the end of this parliament. Now I wonder what year they'll do that then. Please. 1p? Are you... Okay, what's all this? Why is all this cash coming in today? Adam the plumber, £8.99. You're very generous tonight. I've never had so many tips since I pissed everyone off 2 years ago. I was in terrible depression at that point. You don't realise, do you? See, I never tell you things like that. I was really in depression there. It was all to do with the bingo. It was all becoming too much. It was anyway. Anyway, thanks so much for your very kind tips, all of you tonight. It's very kind. Not only has Adam sent me an £8.99 tip, but I'm getting a meal as well worth about £100 at his wedding in a couple of months' time. That's in August, isn't it? Not too far away from that now, are we, my loves? Adam is getting married in on the 13th of August in Maidstone. Very posh affair, dear. I've gone out and bought a new pair of socks for your wedding, Adam. I just don't care anymore. Money to burn. Money to burn here. Aye? Anyway, thanks very much for your tips tonight at Times Ends. Not that I've finished yet. John says I gave you £3 last week according to my spreadsheet in Excel. See, I told you. He keeps a bloody note on it all. He keeps a note on how much he's sent in. Oh, dear me. Thank you. Oh, he's on the phone now. Here he is. It's Adam the plumber. Good evening, Adam.
Here, it's £103 per person.
Oh, I beg your pardon, £103 per person. Now, what do we get for that then? What's that £103? What do we get
well,
for that?
Basically get the champagne reception after the ceremony. So you get the champagne. And then you get the breakfast, what they call the wedding breakfast.
What time is that then?
That is around about 4 p.m.
Okay, what time have I got to be there, Adam?
The wedding ceremony starts at 2:30, so you need to be there by 2.
2 p.m. Okay.
So you can get a seat, get your seat and get yourself settled and get your sandwiches
You meant to say
out.
I don't have a seat reserved?
Oh yeah, you do have a seat reserved.
I was going to say, I hope it's not a free-for-all like getting on bleeding Ryanair. Sod that, mate. They're fighting for the seats, dear. Or is that Easy Joe? One of the two. Carry on.
So then you got your wedding breakfast, and then there's more little nibbles and bits after that, I believe.
Is there cheese and onion crisps?
Is there what, sorry, dear?
Cheese and onion crisps.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to find out about that one.
Please may I request a bowl of cheese and onion crisps on my table?
You can.
And you know the people I'm sitting with, is it possible, can they all be lads? And can I have a picture of all the lads attending so that I can choose the ones that are going to sit on my table?
You can.
Thank you very much.
As my very, very special friend, you can. Anything for you.
What?
Anything to keep you quiet. I mean, anything for you.
Thank you.
That's all right. And then after that, there's the disco and karaoke with the evening buffet.
Lovely. What does the evening buffet consist of? Is there many dead animals?
I'm not sure what the evening is. Probably going to be tortilla wraps and all that sort of thing.
Oh, it sounds nice.
Unfortunately, it's not your standard curled up sandwiches.
Oh.
And sausage rolls. Unfortunately.
Oh.
So you might have to sneak a bag of Walker's cheese and onion crisps in with you.
Well, I could bring sandwiches. I suppose I'll be able to eat bread by then. Lent will be over by then.
That's true.
I might have a word with Maureen. She could stack me up a few sandwiches to come with, really.
But as you say, all these things are such an expensive affair.
Yes, I gather that. You spent a lot of money on this wedding, haven't you?
Would you like a little rundown?
Yes, please do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the registrar, that's for them to come along, say, do you, yes I do, yes I do. How much do you think that comes in at?
Oh.
For half an hour's work?
I was going to say 150 quid, but knowing how things are now, 200
£950.
950 quid for what? What did she do
The
for that?
registrar turns up, does the ceremony, and then disappears.
Is that a council thing?
Yeah. If you do it at the registrar's office, it's £50, but because they're travelling outside the registrar's office, they have to do additional paperwork, and that comes to £950. And then, get this, if you want a paper copy of your marriage certificate, that's an extra £12 per copy.
Savage.
Unless you just want the digital one.
Savage.
So, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Mention the word wedding and you can double it. DJ karaoke, how much do you think that was? Now, this is more your ball game.
If I was doing it, and I don't do weddings or private parties at all anymore, I just can't be asked lifted up. And I don't have a light show anymore either. Can't really do it now anyway. But if it was me, and I didn't know you,
Yep.
I might push it to £200.
Try 440.
What time's he start and finish?
7 to 11:30. So roughly £100 an hour.
Wow.
And that's with the light. That's with the light show, which is probably a couple of dancing balls and two glitter cannons. Cannons.
Did you look around at people's prices, or was that just the only one you asked?
No, I've phoned around about 20.
And what other quotes did you have? I bet there were more than that.
There are some of them coming in at £600-700.
Gosh.
I actually phoned round. The minute you mention the word wedding, it doubles. If you said, I'll have a disco karaoke in a hall, £200-300 probably. The minute you mention the word wedding, bang, goes up. No idea why.
See, I just couldn't charge someone that amount for that.
Photographer and videography. So I'm having it videoed and...
£1,000.
Bit more than that. 1,400.
For a few bloody pictures. I told you what to do.
For a couple of disposable cameras around the place.
Well, you don't know. You wouldn't even do that now. Everyone's got iPhones. Everyone's got iPhones and those the cheap ones as well. They've all got them.
They have, but the thing is, my mum can't make it to the wedding because she's getting older now and she can't make it to the wedding. Oh. And I do want a nice wedding album for her.
Right.
And video of the ceremony. So I don't mind paying that because I will get top quality, and I've actually seen all his work and he sent me loads of portfolios through and stuff. Right. So I don't mind that too much, because some places, I went to one place and they wanted £1,800, and basically they wanted £1,800. I sent some of the pictures to my goddaughter, who's a photographer, and she was shocked by them. Some of them heads chopped off, not in the centre of the of the picture and things like that, and they wanted £1,800. I was like, no.
Gary Ross has just messaged that it's cheap flying to Vegas and get her married in a drive-through. Right, well, carry on, darling. We're listening with great interest on this.
So that's that one. What else have we got? So we've got that. Cake is not too bad. That's coming in about £380 with a cake and the cupcakes.
£380 for a cake.
But that is a handcrafted cake, and also I looked around other places like at the wedding fairs and what have you, and phoned around, and that is actually one of the cheaper quotes.
Right.
I've seen people when we were at the wedding fair. There was a lady in front of us, and her cake came to, I think, £1,200.
Why didn't you just go down to the co-op? You could have got a load of little angel cakes, put them in slices, and just neatly put them out on plates.
Exactly.
Lovely.
That would have been
Angel
it.
cake. All different colours.
Exactly.
So I always think angel cake, they're very non-racist, aren't they? Because they're all different colours, those
They are.
angel cakes. Marvellous, dear. Carry on.
I've just made the table decorations myself for the centre, because to hire the centerpieces from the venue is £15 per centerpiece. I've just made mine for a tenner.
Did you ever get to a point where you thought perhaps you've chosen the wrong venue?
No, not at all. The venue itself is a beautiful venue, which you'll see. The venue is perfect for what we wanted.
What's it called?
Sorry, go on.
What's the venue called?
It's called Kent Life.
Right. You carry on chatting, I'll try and bring up a picture.
Okay, so Kent Life is basically, we've got the three rooms, well, the three buildings. We have the Oldham Town Hall, the wagon store, which is where you have a meal, and the chapel itself. Try and bring up a picture of the chapel if you can, Chris, because that's the most stunning
here,
building.
It's a farm park.
Sorry? That's right, yeah, Kent Life Farm, yeah. So if you put in Kent Life Weddings into your search bar, that should probably bring it up. And have a look for the chapel. Now, the chapel was brought in from another village. It was going to be demolished, and they brought that in.
Oh, right.
The Oldham Town Hall is actually part of the original site, because it was a little village there. And there are three or four Victorian houses which have all been taken back to how they were, in the 1800s, like the little shop.
Is the chapel pink?
Yes, that's it, yep. Pink on the outside.
Right.
That's it. If you try and get an internal shot of that, you'll be able to see it.
Hang on. You carry on chatting while I get these sorted.
Yeah, so the chapel itself was, as I say, imported from another village, and then rebuilt. And so I think it was the Oldham Town Hall was as well, the village hall, if that makes sense.
Right.
And then you've got the wagon store, which is you've got a blacksmith's underneath, and then you've got the wagon store over the top, which is where they do the main menu. And then obviously you've got the farm as well. And after 6:30, the entire site becomes ours. In between that, the public are allowed on site, but they're not allowed in any of the buildings.
Right.
They're certainly not allowed in the chapel during the service. That's closed off now. Sort of people outside stopping you going in. And then obviously as we move over to the wagon store, then obviously people are not allowed in there either.
Okay.
So, it is a sort of sole use of the whole venue. As I say, the sole use of the whole venue after 6:30 at night. So, you get to see the farm, get all the pictures in the hop gardens and everything else. So it's a lovely little venue. Keeping.
Should be for that amount.
Say again, sorry.
Should be for that amount, dear.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. It is what it is. You pay for what you get. I mean, I could have gone down to, I don't know, the local church and hired the local church village
local
hall.
Scout hut.
Local Scout hut, yeah, and
that's
had
where we
sandwiches.
That's where we got our when I got married.
Yeah,
we did the Scout hut. Our Scout hut. Well, loads of people got married that had their reception things there, so.
Yeah, that's true.
I've done loads of discos in there for people.
But I mean, it's just all. I forgot to add on to the hire of the suits as well. So there's 4 suits. That's 2 best men and me and Royston and the little lad that's going to be doing the ring bearing.
Right, we've just got some pictures coming up now for people. There we go.
Okay.
Carry on.
So that's £680 for 4 suits.
Wow.
And then if you want the shoes on top of that, it's an extra £15 per set of shoes. So it does spiral up and up and up. But I've done this. That's it. I can see the church there now on the outside. That's lovely.
That's the outside. Brown outside one there. It looks brown, but it's actually pink, is it?
Yeah, it's pink on it. It's pink.
Looks just like an old tin up, doesn't it? From the outside.
Now that one you've got there, that's actually the Oldham Town Hall, the one with the arch.
Oh, right. So that's not the inside of there.
That's not inside the chapel.
Oh, okay.
The chapel is a typical sort of, Victorian chapel, little Victorian chapel.
Yes.
That seats 60.
Okay.
That little chapel. That seats 60, and then
is it the one with a brick wall at the back?
No, that's the wagon store.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's got. Hold on, let me see if I can quickly find one for you. I won't be able to send it to you, but I'll just quickly look one up. Hold on. Bear with me.
Vera says, I'm surprised they're not charging Adam and his guest at the wedding to use the toilets.
Yeah. Maybe that'd be neat. It's got a bar as well. It's got a licensed bar, but that'd probably be his. Just trying to find a picture of it.
Okay.
It's funny. They normally have lots of pictures of it. Let's see. That's a town hall. That's outside. Is that it? That shows a little bit of it.
Right.
It's not perfect. But as you can imagine, it's similar to the outside, just different colour schemes, and it's got the wooden beams and the old Victorian pews.
Right.
So it is a typical sort of Victorian chapel.
Okay.
And then it's got the pedal organ at the end.
Yes.
Whether that actually works or not, I don't know. So it's got a little pedal organ at the end.
Right.
And then typical sort of tongue and groove cladding around the walls.
Okay.
And the hard wooden floor.
Anyway, is that all the expenses there, my darling?
No, there's flowers, and then there's flowers, and then there's decorations themselves, because we're going for a woodland theme.
Yeah.
So obviously I've got my centerpieces at £10 each. That's £80. Then you've probably got another probably £250, £300 on the decorations itself for flowers and
yes.
And bits of wood and stuff like that.
It's an expensive old
signage.
business there. A very expensive old business there, isn't it, eh?
It certainly is, but, you only do it once, hopefully, so...
Yeah, yeah.
I did do it many years ago before it was legal.
Yes.
To one of my ex-partners who's no longer with us. He passed away.
Who was that?
And we had
someone I know?
Andrew, his name was. Lived in Brighton.
Okay.
Used to go to trade a lot and what have you, but he passed away, 2 years ago now.
What was his name?
Had a ceremony.
Andrew?
Say again, sorry? Andrew.
Andrew what?
Gibson.
Okay.
He was, we basically got, when was that? 2000,
right.
Before it was all legal. So it was just literally a ceremony in a pub and then a little party afterwards, and then we flew out to Spain for a holiday.
Right.
And that hardly cost anything at all. That was just literally, a suit, shirt and trousers, and I think we paid some vicar that was sort of doing non-wedding weddings.
Oh, yes.
Because obviously weren't legal, but he'd done all the full ceremony.
Yeah.
Which was nice. But, that didn't cost hardly anything at all. And that was due, I don't know if you remember, in Brighton, there was a pub called, what was it called now? Trying to think of the name of it. It was owned by Steve. It's totally gone out of my head now what it was called, but it was the back of, I don't know if you know London Road in Brighton at all, the main road that goes down to Brighton. It was hidden behind there,
yes,
opposite St Bartholomew's Church.
No,
it was
I don't know it, to be honest, don't know it.
No, Harlequins, I think it was called, Harlequins.
Okay, I never went there.
No, well, I used to do the karaoke there, so
right.
I managed to do get the pub free of charge, but we had about, 40 guests or so it wasn't a big affair, but,
Yeah.
That was then, and it's completely different to now.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm looking forward to it,
Is it all paid for now, or what?
90% of it is, yeah. The last bit's going on the credit card, I think.
Right.
It's going to have to, but I mean, we've got a deposit. We paid the deposit, and the balance of the 8,000 has got to be paid by end of June, 6 weeks before the thing. But I've sort of worked it all out, and I've been saving like crazy and doing little jobs. So if anybody wants to add to my GoFundMe,
gosh.
if
Did
I
you
had
think
one.
about? Well, people have set up for lesser things than weddings. I've seen.
Yeah.
There was someone on Facebook the other day. He wants a new bike. He said he wants to do deliveries. You know, food deliveries. And those boys and girls don't earn a lot of money at all.
No.
They really don't. But that's what he wants to do. But he can't afford the bike to do it. So
right.
he's got a GoFundMe thing out. It's somewhere in Bracknell. I can't remember. I didn't keep an eye on it to see how much he was getting or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. But as you
Perhaps
say,
you
everything
should.
is going up. Everything is going up. You know, I've just got to, except for my wages. You know, I'm still waiting for a pay rise. I'm hoping to get one this year,
Well, yeah.
but we shall see. You know, we just carry on as we are. If not,
How's your electricity and gas things? Because of course you haven't been in the house long anyway, so you haven't really got anything to compare it against.
I haven't really been in the house long, and to be honest with you, what I do is I've actually got key meters because I'd hate the bill dropping through the letterbox. Now I know that's slightly more expensive.
Right.
I know that's slightly more expensive than you know, doing it by the other way.
Yes.
I'm just looking at my what was it? Hold on a second. I'm trying to think what the last put on there. I put £60 on it about a month ago on the electric.
Right.
But of course, because me and Reardon work during the day, there's nothing on during the day.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's fair.
And
enough.
all our light bulbs are smart light bulbs, so
Yeah,
they get turned on and off by the Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, the things with these light bulbs. As far as I know, most people have got the LED bulbs now. I certainly have, except in this room. There's two, the like twisted lights. Are very big. The lights in here. And but it's one of the things in the sun. It was saying to save energy bills. It said turn out the lights. You could save £828 a year. Well, I doubt very much anyone uses that in lighting in a year. I'm finding that very difficult to believe that. It says you may lose out on an hour's sleep because of the clocks going back, but it could be good news for your energy bill. It means that it's getting much lighter. There's an opportunity for you to put the lights on less often. Now, when I say to you, my mate comes in and the first thing he does is turn the blasted kitchen light on, even when it's daylight, right? But actually, they're LED bulbs. You know, in an hour, that can't even cost more than a penny or two.
Well,
I can't believe you could save, unless you've got all old type of light bulbs, then maybe, you know. But
if you've got the old style 2D ones, I would imagine. So, I mean, you've got to think a modern LED is, you know, the equivalent of a 100 watt is 100 watt incandescent bulb is around about 13 watts.
Oh yes. Well, you'd need 10 of the new light bulbs to use the energy of one of the old ones.
That's
so
right.
I find that very difficult to believe that little thing in the sun there where we can sort of.
I mean, I often think, how much does it cost? Now we've gone smart. Now, obviously, there is current going to the Amazon light bulbs. Because you know, to give it the command to turn it on, the switch is always on. So you think I've got probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 smart light bulbs in this house. So I've got 11 smart light bulbs which are all controlled by the Amazon, and then I've got the Amazon devices themselves. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Amazon devices, the speakers. I've got 8 of the speakers.
And all constantly drawing a bit of electric, aren't they?
Yeah, and then I've got 4 CCTV cameras, internal ones, like the little £12 ones from eBay, just to keep an eye on the cat and dog during the day. And then, of course, I've got 4 TVs that I leave on standby.
Yeah.
I don't unplug them because the plugs are just too difficult to get to.
Be very interested to see if you could work out how much those smart light bulbs are drawing when they're
I wouldn't
off.
have thought it would be very much because
maybe not. Maybe
didn't we
not.
work it out once the plug top for the
Maybe each one doesn't draw a lot.
no.
But when you
across the
add them
board.
all up,
Yeah.
what does that equal?
Exactly. Well, I suppose the best thing would be is like next time I go on a week's holiday. When I go on a week's holiday, I'll take a meter, see what the meter is at. Like £12 left, and then see what it is when I come back.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's got a standing charge as well. So it's a very difficult one to work out, isn't it? I mean, I think we worked out a couple of years ago on the programme. We worked out, if you remember the plug top for your charging your mobile phone.
Yes.
The actual charging lead. Now we worked out about sixpence a year, I think it was.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, I think when we worked out it was about sixpence a year to leave, because that's something else that you leave constantly plugged in, isn't it? You don't unplug your charger for your mobile phone.
Not really. No.
No. So all those little things adding up, it'd be quite interesting to see how much they add
Listen,
up to.
Maureen, bless her. She's put for your wedding. Chris, I don't mind making extra sandwiches for you, Chris, to give you on Friday, 12th of August. You can put them in the fridge for the next night. How nice is that?
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Congratulations to Adam and Royston. That's from Maureen. You'll have to come in soon again. And Maureen's generally there on a Friday or a Saturday, or sometimes both.
I will be coming down at some point over the next week. Won't be this week because I'm on call, but possibly next week I'll try and make you get down and see you all.
Perhaps Good Friday, because you'll be off Good Saturday, Friday? Presumably.
Yes, I won't be working the Good Friday, so yeah.
Or the Saturday, either and or.
No.
All right.
Yeah, either or. Yeah, so there you go. That's where we're at so far with money spent on the wedding and stuff.
Wow. That's a huge amount. Gary Ross finds your call very interesting, by the way. Yeah,
oh, thank you.
It really is finding out.
We like to try and make things interesting.
Oh, just a moment. Sorry, we've got to stop the show.
Oh, what's happened? Oh.
Gary Ross has just sent a £4 tip in. Thank you very much, Gary Ross. Thank you very much.
Good.
I've got a decent amount of tips tonight. £17 tonight. Wow. It's like doing a whole job. It's not like doing a real job.
You can eat again tonight. You can eat again tonight, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad I'm going to be able to use the lights on the next show, which, of course, will be coming to you from the Luxury Waterside Media Centre. I always worry a bit, because generally when I go up to the caravan, there's something wrong. There's always something wrong. And often it's a computer not working properly because, of course, I turn them off.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't just turn them off. I also turn the power off to them. And the reason being is because if the electricity slightly spikes, and I don't know if you know this, it turns the computer on.
Oh.
Right? And you don't know about it until you get there and you think, why is this computer on? And that happened a few times. So I now completely turn the power off. And, of course, when you turn it back on again, if there's any sort of, might be a little bit of moisture in there, or something like that has gone wrong. And generally there's a load of updates waiting to be done, especially because the last time we were there, of course, was at the... Was it the end of January or somewhere around there? That's the last time. So that's a good 2 months, which is an awful lot of updates. So generally, I'll get up there on Sunday morning, around about 2:30 in the morning, and I put my clothes away, and generally I try and go straight to bed at that point. I usually have a cup of tea as well. I usually have a cup of tea before I go to bed, and I might turn the computer on and just let it do its updates overnight, you know. There's always something to do. So hopefully next Wednesday we'll be coming to you live from the Luxury Waterside Media Centre.
So presumably you leave your Amazon devices on so you can talk to your heating and aircon and stuff.
Yes, I can do all that.
Yeah. So you can keep it, but obviously you drain your water down and switch your gas off.
On the advice of the plumber, I pull the water pipe off. I disconnect the mains water pipe, and then
Gotcha.
I open all the taps, and this water comes out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, drain everything.
Which is better than not doing anything. But of course, if you've got any sort of bends in the pipe, it can settle there. And really, you should blow it all through. But it's a bit of a job. So I do that, and generally, it's been all right for a while.
That's it. And of course, what you want to do is once you've reconnected, you want to run your taps for at least 2 minutes.
Of course, yeah, of course.
To stop any Legionellas building up.
I was also going to tell you, when I pull that water pipe off, I put a piece of tape over it, just in case anything crawls into the pipe.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, do you?
Mice or insects or anything like that. And actually, funnily enough, my nephew spoke to him a couple of days ago. He said, I'll pop round to your caravan this week and put the pipe back on. Because obviously, 2:30 on a Saturday morning, you don't want to be outside on your hands and knees in the pitch black and the freezing cold, probably, putting a bloody pipe back on.
I don't know. It depends where you are, doesn't it, dear?
Adam, a very interesting call. Thank you very much today.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheerio now. Adam the plug. What a lovely call from Adam. Wasn't that very informative? Just shows you how much a wedding takes now, doesn't it, eh? Why does anyone even get married when it costs so much? Gosh, it's so expensive. Oh my word, look at the time. It's just gone 10 o'clock. Let's just do some final messages from you and then we'll disappear today, boys and girls. Peter Wright says a great call. Wasn't it interesting, Peter? Yeah, that whole married thing. I'd been married once, as you know, 1983 it was, many, many years ago. But I don't know how much that cost, really. I don't know how much that cost because, of course, it's usually the ladies, because I was married to a lady, her father does the wedding, doesn't he? As far as I can remember. I can't remember what was paid out. Did he pay for everything? He kind of paid for everything, surely. Do you know, I can't. It's so long ago now. So long ago there. But weddings these days, wow. £450, £600 he got quoted for a disco. I just couldn't charge someone that amount. Doesn't matter how many lights I've got, you know. Rachel's wishing Adam good luck, yeah. That's nice. Jason Hughes said I'd want a free bar at that price. Yeah, £103 per person. It's a lot of money. Awful lot of money. But that's what he wants to do, you know. So there we are. I've got a big birthday next year, as you well know. 60th birthday next February. And I'm kind of thinking about doing something now. But I don't know what. I've actually, and don't laugh, I've actually got in my head an afternoon tea somewhere. The problem is, people are all over the place, you know. My ideal afternoon tea place for that would probably be the one in Ascot, which is round here. Easy for me to get to, not so easy for other people. Do you see what I mean? I might throw that idea around the family and see how that goes down. But unless you've got a car, not an easy place. Or you can get there without a car. Well, you could, you know, a cab from the train station to there, but it's certainly not walkable. And then you could say, well, why don't you have it in a London hotel? Well, you're talking about big money there. In actual fact, it's relatively cheap in comparison to some of those hotels to have an afternoon tea in somewhere like Harrods. That's not bad at all. But, you know, I don't have a family of pissheads. Do you know what I mean? We wouldn't be talking pints of beer and stuff like that. It'd all be like quite refined. And everyone would have to dress up a bit. But I don't know really. I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I didn't do anything for any of my birthday parties except my 18th, which was a complete disaster. Well, it's either 16th or 18th at my mum's house. Oh, that was a disaster. I don't know whatever occurred to me to ever think of trying such a thing out, but it didn't work. And I think that's probably why I just didn't do anything else. But I think maybe for my 60th, I don't know where to do it, or even if to just do an afternoon tea. I don't, you know, you see, I've seen so many birthday parties done. For example, let's all meet at this pub. Well, no one really comes. You know, I mean, I've been DJing on a normal night and someone to come, oh, it's my birthday today. I've invited loads of people to come down. You know, they're there at whatever time the opening is, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. And then they're sitting there and no one comes. No one comes. And the other thing I wouldn't want to do is do like a birthday party and people turn up for the free booze. I mean, I've seen that all the time. Obviously, you can't include your family. They're not there for the free booze. But I wouldn't want to do something like that either. Yeah, you just get a load of freeloaders come down who you've never seen for years and years. And it's really difficult to know what to do. Yeah. Good. I think, are we done there? Yeah, I think we're done there. Greg, Peter there, Greg, and Gary all wishing you the best of luck there. Anyway, I'll have a think about that and see if I can come up with some sort of idea. Anyway, time to go. Thanks ever so much for joining us on our little chat show this evening. Hopefully we'll do it all again next Wednesday at the same time, 8 o'clock. All right, thank you very kindly for all your tips tonight. I'm astounded by that really this evening. Lovely little load of tips this evening. It's very kind of you. Thanks very much. Adam the Plumber says, I think the Dorchester was nice for tea. Yes, thinking of the London one. And I don't think that was too bad, was it, the Dorchester? But, you know, the other thing is, I'll have people that wouldn't want to do something like that. It's really difficult to know what to do. Ideas for a 60th birthday party. Perhaps we can do that in one of our chat shows. You could give me your ideas of perhaps what I could do for my 60th birthday party. You know, something like that. Certain people I would absolutely want there, and that would be my nieces and nephews and my sister. Absolutely. And of course, their children. They would have to be there. You know, and that's the thing, you know, people come a long distance. Like my niece would have to come all the way down from Scotland. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm on the radio tomorrow morning. What are you doing? I do hope you'll be able to join me here. Okay? reachsonair.com tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Perhaps you can make a little visit to us there. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. You know what I've got now? I've got my other apple crumble and half a tin of Ambrosia dairy cream custard with a cup of tea. Lovely. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.